All right. Mhm. So, hi, I'm Darla Pompilio. I'm with Your Tasks Our Time Professional Organizing and Senior Move Management or Move Management. We are actually specialty move managers. I'm here today with Alexandra Jones, whose apartment we just organized in New York City. Hi, Alex.
Yay.
Um, Thank you, Alex, today for taking the time to have this conversation and to talk about your organizing process.
hmm
So Alex Jones is a ballerina in New York City who travels frequently for work. She has a small studio apartment. It's approximately 465, 470 square feet. And she's got two closets in her apartment, and she's been there for about a year. Now, full disclosure, Alexandra is my niece. When she moved last year into her apartment, I did help her downsize and I packed her for her move to New York City. She was in a much bigger apartment at the time. I'm thinking, what, four
It
times the
was,
size?
yeah, I
At
would
least.
say,
Yeah.
yeah,
And you had storage in the basement to boot.
yes, yeah,
Um,
yeah. There was a
so
lot
she,
more space.
yeah, yeah, a lot more space. So she had to complete a significant purge in order to move. And fortunately, she doesn't struggle with being attached to most items. So that does make the process easier and certainly much faster. So none of this was staged. This all happened organically. We
Mhm.
just chose to document it, and we thought this might help others with their organizing process if we talked about her organizing process. So a couple weeks ago, Alex reached out to me and asked me if I could help her organize her closets. And I was honored because honestly, um, she's my niece and she's a natural born organizer, as is her mother. So I was scratching my head a little bit. But but we did end up organizing the entire apartment, not just the closets, and it does look amazing. And I
It
think
looks
it's a
so
great fresh,
good.
yeah, I think it's a great fresh start for you too.
Mhm.
So so why did you reach out to me for your organizing project?
Well, like you said, like I do enjoy organizing things regularly, like on my own. I've always kind of been like that since I was little, but I knew that there were things that I did not maybe have the best knowledge on, and like different strategies and just little things that I knew that you would be able to help me with a lot. And yeah, just like the extra assistance as well. I feel like sometimes organizing seems like a daunting task and it
Mhm.
can be overwhelming. So having somebody to help with
Yeah,
makes it easy.
it does. It does help to have
Mm.
somebody there. It often when people call us in, they call us in because they either can't do it themselves because, like you said, they're overwhelmed. There's too
Hmm.
much for them to deal with, or they've asked family members to help and they find that they can sometimes be judgmental.
Mm.
Um, you that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, so you've been in this apartment about a year. So
Mhm.
why were you struggling? Why are you struggling now? Or why were you struggling at this time, a year in?
Well, this time a year ago, from downsizing from my bigger apartment that I was in previously, to this one, I did a good amount of, getting rid of things. And I felt when I moved in here last year, I was like, oh, I'm really organized. But throughout the year, like the more traveling we did, um, the more kind of packed of a schedule that I realized that the way I organized my apartment was not going to be helpful for me. It was putting more work on my end. With when I would come home from traveling, I would have to take things down to put my suitcases back to, refill different cubby holes, or I would buy new things and then not know where to put them. And I'm
Mhm.
pretty good at not buying a lot of things. Like I feel like I won't get something unless I need it, or I'll think about my storage in my apartment and all of that. But I just noticed that it was exhausting coming home from rehearsals or coming home from a travel day and having to figure out where to put everything,
Mhm.
or take 5 things out of my closet. to put my suitcases back in, only to need to get them out a week later. It was overwhelming. And I'm also the kind of person that if my space is not clean, like what I can see, I can't sit down and do other things until I clean it. So I just, it was really hard. And then as a dancer, like I need to meal prep and I have other things that I need to like that I want to focus on and put my time
Mhm.
towards. And half of that, time was spent on trying to figure out where to put stuff in my apartment when I was coming home. So that was kind of one of the reasons. I
Mhm.
just realized it wasn't very effective. The way that I, had moved in last year, and where I'm at now, how I've been with the company that I'm with for a year, and it just did not suit my lifestyle, how I was kind of organized before.
Yeah, you know what your needs are now. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. You know what your needs are. You know what you need to travel. You know what you need
Mhm.
when you get home. Um, and that makes a huge difference.
And I just knew too, I would look at things and be like, there is a better way. There is a much easier way for me to organize and to store my stuff. Like I just knew it.
Mhm.
And then also moving from where I was last year to moving here in New York, it's a different lifestyle. Like living in New York is so much different than living somewhere where you have a car or, like you have access to more things or your lifestyle is just completely different. So being here, there's things that I brought that I thought I would need
Mhm.
that I used in my other apartment in the other state that I was in. And that just is not, I did not need it here. So
Yeah, it seems like things will translate over, easily,
yeah.
often. But, I tell people that, change is the only constant. And when your life changes, your organizing systems change or need to
Hmm.
change most often
Yeah.
or frequently because you know, what worked when you were
Yeah.
in one phase of your life is
Exactly.
often not going to work in another phase of your life. So,
Hmm.
but
Yeah. That's what I found out very
yeah,
quickly.
yeah. And learning like and also by going through this process and learning that it'll make it easier for your next phase, whatever that is. You'll have the tools to more easily flow to the next phase of your life.
Hmm.
Um, so what were your goals for this for your space now and in the future? So what were your goals?
I wanted to be able, I wanted to have everything kind of in different compartments in my apartment so that I could just pull things out. Like in my spice cabinet, I use the same things daily. So something where I could easily pull it out and not have to put everything in one by one because my cabinets are pretty small. Same with my closet. I wanted to be able to see, I have a lot of clothes. I need a lot of dresses and stuff like that for
Mhm.
my job. And I wanted to be able to see everything I had so that I wasn't, just wearing the same things over and over. And so it would be a little bit easier for me to access. So I kind of just wanted to have everything in a layout that was effective and functionally helpful for my quick go lifestyle. To make it a lot easier for me to get what I need and then put it back. Um, and I think that's kind of, I like the minimalist kind of feeling, but not everything. I mean, there are things that you need, I feel like, so not everyone can have like we were saying, like the three things on
Things
your
on a shelf.
cabinet or the three things on the shelf that's not realistic. Like,
And and
um,
and and we say that, but oddly enough, you have a couple of cabinets where there's three things on
I
the
do.
shelf.
Yes.
But your
Yeah.
cabinet's only this wide.
Right. And I still wanted to make it look nice. Like I wanted to make it look, somewhat aesthetically pleasing
Mhm.
or nice to look at. I like to color coordinate some of my stuff. But like I wanted it to be able to look nice, but actually be functionally helpful for my daily life. And I think that's kind of how I mean, when I downsized from my last apartment to this one, I was thinking, trying to think about realistically what I would use or how would I want the layout of things to be. And like you said, like over the year, so much change. I realized that what I needed or what I thought I needed, I didn't need anymore. So
Mhm.
just kind of get rid of things and
Mhm.
make things functionally helpful.
Functional and beautiful.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, and yet, like you said, it's not so simplistic that you don't have anything,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So, so what steps do you think will help you maintain your space going forward?
Mm. Well, something that I thought about before you came over to help me, I remember thinking, this is a great time, one, to organize my apartment and to clean it, like dust, clean, like actually get the baseboards, do everything.
Mhm.
And I remember thinking to myself then, like, this should be something I should do twice a year, or should be something that I do more often so that it doesn't end up, I have a whole bunch of dust everywhere or it's out of control. So I think going forward, something I'll do is maybe like every other Sunday will be a day that I, you know, go through things and dust, clean. Like I think staying in a routine and making sure to do at least, you know, going through and cleaning or taking the time to put things back will be good for maintaining it. And it's not that hard. I feel like once you get everything in the space and where you need it and you really know, oh, this is functionally going to help me, I
Mhm.
don't feel like it's going to be that hard to maintain,
Mhm.
um just because there is a place for everything,
Correct.
so there's not
Everything has
that
a home.
guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything has a home. When everything has a home, it makes it so much easier. And the
Yeah.
second part to that, the flip, no, it's called the flip side, but the other part of that is everything having a home and the ease of being able to put it back and also retrieve it. So if you
Yeah.
have to have 3 or 4 steps to retrieve something or 3 or 4 steps to put something back, yeah, you're
And
just
I
gonna end
think
up putting it
that's
down.
Yeah, I think that's where I was with how my apartment was before
Mhm.
we went through it. Is things looked like I had a place for things, but it was like I would have to pull extra things out. It was just not, there were more than, it was 4 steps to do one simple thing, and I kind of like putting my suitcase in the closet. I
Mhm.
have to pull out all my cleaning supplies and all of that stuff that I had stored in there just to get back to the corner where I put my suitcase.
Mhm.
Functionally, that is just, it was annoying. So I would leave my suitcase out, like
Mhm.
by my bathroom door or in my closet. So it was just there. But
Mhm.
now all my cleaning stuff is like on a little caddy. So I can pull that out and then get my suitcase. So,
Yeah.
just stuff like that. But yeah, it's definitely helpful.
Okay. Um, so we ended up organizing not just the closets, but the entire apartment. So why do you think that's important?
Well, because it's your whole living space. When when just one little section I feel like is organized and the whole rest of the apartment isn't, that's the flow of everything, or like
Mhm.
like the functionality that we were talking about. I feel like if you have one room that's cluttered or one room that's not organized, then you're gonna probably easily fall back into that same thing in your other room. Um,
Mhm.
so I think it's nice to have a cohesive, organized space so you feel relaxed. You don't feel overwhelmed in one room versus the other.
Mhm.
A closet space can kind of turn into a catch-all space if you're not organized everywhere else, I think.
Mhm. Yeah,
So yeah,
definitely. And it's that
peace of mind.
it makes you want to come home too.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was another thing that I wanted because I travel so much and staying in hotels all the time and being away from home. I wanted to, when I come home for 3 days or 4 days before I go back on tour, I wanna come home to a place that's just nice and well organized, and I don't have to stress about, the clutter or feel overwhelmed, or,
Mhm.
on the days that I have off. I wanna be able to just come home and relax, and it's a nice space to be in.
Nice.
I want to be luxurious. You want your living space to feel luxurious, I feel like.
Yes, you do. Um, so what do you think you learned from the process, or what was your greatest takeaway from organizing the apartment?
I learned a lot. I think I learned a lot. Just like folding to fit the space when we were talking about when we were folding my scarves or anything. That was a huge help because I do have tight spaces in my apartment, but there is a way to get everything, in there how you need it, and be effective still. So that was something I learned. I also I had no idea about Swiffers. This is how nice Swiffers are. I know that's so funny, but
It's a secret
I
weapon
feel
for
like
those who have allergies.
yes, yeah, I have such bad allergies when it comes to dust and all of that. So yeah, I didn't realize that that was such an easy little tool. I think sometimes people get overwhelmed with cleaning products and cleaning supplies and feeling like they have to buy a whole bunch of stuff for those things, but a few things are pretty simple and really effective for your space. So, and I also learned that I can, have a small space like this and still be pretty very organized and still have space. It feels like there's space now, even though I really didn't do a ton. I mean, we organized everything, but
No, and you didn't take a ton of stuff out of your apartment either. You didn't donate. You donated a fair amount of clothing.
clothes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but otherwise, I think I took one box. I donated one box today out of your space,
Yeah.
and a little box, not even a big box, and then those chairs that we're storing at my house, the 2 chairs, and that was it. Really, that
Yeah.
was it. You didn't really. It was more of how you were using the space versus,
Yeah.
with the exception of the clothes,
Right. Well, yeah. But yeah, learning and kind of realizing, because I even remember when we started doing the cabinets and some of my kitchen stuff, I would think in my mind, I guess before we started, I was like, oh, I'll have to get all these different containers and all this different stuff. But then I would look at something and be like, oh, I think I have a solution, like a DIY solution I can do for that, or I have a box that might work for that. There were just, I feel like I got my brain working in a different way where I was looking at things and seeing, I was being able to see different ways
You could see the
to use the
possibilities.
space. Yeah.
Yeah, and we did recycle almost every solution you had. We did buy some solutions for
Yeah.
sure. A lot of clear products so that you could see,
Yeah.
which I think is really important in a very small space. You need to be able to see all sides of something if you can.
Yeah.
So yeah. And when it comes to, so I know that your grandmother and, family members like to buy you clothing. How would you, or presents, we'll say presents.
Yes.
So how would you address that in the future with them?
Gift cards are the way to go. Yeah, I feel like because I mean, it's hard. A lot of the clothes that I give away, I'm like, oh, I haven't worn these, or I didn't wear them as much as I should have worn them, or it's not, doesn't work for my wardrobe, or doesn't work for my space, like kitchen stuff. If you were to give gifted stuff for your kitchen, and you're like, it's cute, it's nice, but I don't use it. I think that gift cards to places that maybe you would want to go to, stuff like that.
Experiences are nice too.
Yeah,
Like
experiences.
movie tickets or whatever it is that you like
Right.
to, theater tickets,
Yeah.
things like
And
that.
also everyday needs like the grocery store, Trader Joe's gift cards,
Oh yeah, for sure.
CVS. I don't know if CVS does gift cards, but stuff that places you would go in your daily life where you could save money. Um, that again help with functionality of your day and your schedule. I think those are probably,
Cold hard cash is always good.
or just cash. Yes, just cash or a Venmo, something.
That's right.
So then
That says
that way
love.
you're not, yeah, and then that way you're not overwhelmed with there was a lot of things that I feel like I felt like I needed to keep. But if
Yes.
it's not working for you, if you don't love it, or if it's doesn't fit your lifestyle, it's not worth holding on to because it's just gonna sit there. So yeah, I would say if there's something specific that you like, put those on the list, or gift cards to places, cash, because I think there's a lot of other things that can be gifted other than just actual items that you might not ever use or wear or need.
Yep, yep. So, the photos, so people who organize for a living, do post a lot, myself included. Post a lot of very stark, I don't want to say stark, but very beautifully curated photos of
Yeah.
the work that we do. And it is the work that we do, but you know, it's not exactly how most people live. So the photos that we did of your apartment was the real deal, the befores and the afters.
Yep.
I don't think we actually got a full before of your coat closet, but we got pretty close. But your closet, your walk-in, we got
Oh
good shot
yeah.
of that.
Yeah,
And
we
then all
did.
the rest
It's a
of it
mess.
we did as well. And so it's gonna, you know, it's the reality of how people actually live and the functionality. You know, is really what I want to show, you know. You know, this apartment is set up for efficiency, functionality, and to feel wonderful in the space, to feel calm and collected, and like you said, in luxury. You want to feel luxurious in your apartment.
Yeah.
You know, it's
No.
your haven, especially such a small apartment. It's not like you can go from room to room.
Yeah. There's not much room to begin with, so you don't want to feel cluttered and crowded. And it is like everybody, wants the minimalist look, or, to have things, but to not have, like, to not show things, or, to have the table with the two things on it and think that that's the reality. But you can
Most
still have a
places.
nice space, and you can still, have things on display that look nice. But yeah, like you said, the reality of this is actually what the space will look like. It still looks nice and clean and neat, but there's more things than just a few items on the table. Kind of like social media. Like sometimes you see things, but you don't really see the full picture.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you.
well, yeah, the three things on a shelf is definitely a social media
Mhm.
thing that I fully participate in. Uh,
Yeah.
but but yeah, so well, I just want to say thank you for you know, letting me take this opportunity not only to help you, which I love doing, but
It was fun.
yeah, also use it for, you know, for an opportunity to help others. Um,
Yeah.
you know, in the future. So when we post this, when I post it, I will post it with the photos of the work that we did. We did a couple of videos, but I don't even think you could hear what I'm saying in the video because there was a party going on outside. So
Yes. The music
a
was
big block
loud.
party. So I think it's mostly going to be still photos. But again, thank you so much, sweetheart. I appreciate it.
Yes, you're
And
welcome. Thank you.
you're welcome. My pleasure. And I hope all of the people watching this really enjoy the interview and learn a little something and can relate to to Alex's adventure. So
Yes.
thank you, and we're going to sign off.
Yay.